If you're a big swim team and you like to order a lot of gear, maybe you ought to check out Swim Outlet Team Division for these reasons. Swim teams receive a 10% discount on bulk orders. Swim teams or organizations get an 8% commission on referred sales. You'll also like their customization services, which is affordable and available at all times during the year for all team gear. With over 50,000 items in stock, you can get most anything you want. Swim Outlet Team Division. You need to try it out. You'll be glad you did.
This is the Morning Swim Show for Thursday, November 7th, 2013. I'm your host, Jeff Cummings. SwimMAC Carolina and Dynamo Swim Club are two of the best age group teams in the United States. And last weekend, the two went head-to-head in a two-day dual meet. Joining me today in the meets monitor are two of the coaches from the winning SwimMAC team, Russ Kasl and Terry Fritch, who join us via Skype from Charlotte, North Carolina. Guys, good to see you. How are you today?
Doing well, Jeff. Thanks for having us.
Yes, I'm doing well. Thank you.
Good to have you. So let's learn about your roles there at SwimMAC Carolina. Terry, on our left, we'll start with you. So tell us what you do, what your coaching role is there.
Yes, I am the head age group coach for the program, as well as I lead our top 13-14 group and an 8 and under group here at the Latin facility.
Okay, and how about you, Russ?
So my role is I'm the South Region Manager, so I oversee the staff and the programming on all the competitive ends of our program, and then I lead our top senior group on this side of the program, as well as our top 11, 12-year-old group at this site.
Well, I know you guys have a lot of locations there in Charlotte that you have to use for this big team. All told, from basically the beginners up to Team Elite, how many actual members are there at SwimMAC Carolina?
Well, excluding, there's, in the competitive program, we're probably nearing right around 800 between our south and our north sites. So it's pretty large as far as both our ends of the program go, and that's just our competitive end. That does not include any of the program that we do for Learn to Swim, some of our pre-competitive programs and things that provide opportunities for kids in this area, and kind of our some feeder systems into our competitive side of the team.
Yeah, 800 swimmers, that's a lot to manage. Terry, as head age group coach, how are you able to make sure everybody knows where they're going, when they're supposed to be there, and just trying to get everybody, to kind of work together to make this all happen?
It's tough, and we're still working on it. We're still, developing systems and communication processes to keep everybody on the same page. I think the biggest thing is a lot of meetings. we do a lot of stuff, whether it could be just one-on-one, whether it's lead coaches getting together, site coaches getting together, but we probably have somewhere around 3 or 4 meetings a week to try to make sure everybody stays on top of what's going on, and making sure that both locations, all coaches are hearing the same things and teaching the kids somewhat of the same philosophy.
Okay, well, I'm sure it's a lot of work, and you can't argue with success. You guys are doing very well. I want to talk about this dual meet you guys had last weekend. We don't see this very much at the age group level, if at all, actually. Tell me where the idea to have this dual meet with Dynamo came about.
Well, the origin of this actually stems back to when Jeff Kasl was the head coach here, and they used to have a dual meet with Swim Atlanta. So, and then I don't know if it was at the onset or along the way, they added Nashville Aquatic Club, and it became a tri-meet where they rotated locations as to where the meet was hosted. When Pat Hogan came here, Dynamo was added into the mix, and so it was a quad meet. And then along the ways, I think either just based on travel or logistics of the meet, Swim Atlanta and Nashville Aquatic Club dropped off of that quad meet format, and it just became a MAC and Dynamo dual meet tradition from there on. And that was somewhere along, I think, the mid-90s early to mid-90s is where it became a MAC Dynamo dual meet history.
And the way you guys are competing nationally, it turns into one of the big dual meets are probably bigger than a lot of the college meets. I mean, when you guys are preparing for this meet, is it something you guys are looking at and saying, okay, we want to really make sure that we do well, or is it just pretty much another meet on the way to the end of the season?
I think we definitely value the dual meet experience, and over the last, I'd say 3 to 5 years, we started becoming intentional with our preparation for this meet. We realize that it is a fairly early meet within the season, but like you mentioned before, I don't think we do a lot of dual meets. A lot of dual meets in the USA swimming kind of world. And so to take these opportunities and challenge swimmers is a good thing. So we really got a little more intentional over the past handful of years and made sure that the kids understood the history, the tradition, the rivalry, and had some fun with it.
Well, Terry, obviously college swimmers know how to handle the dual meet situation. How do you prepare a younger swimmer for what it's like to be in a dual meet?
We talk about the preparation and expectations. We intentionally talk about what kind of team environment we want, what kind of culture we want to see, and we also use examples from swimmers that have gone. You know, it's an 11 to 14 age range. So some of these swimmers, when they turn 13, 14, have been swimming in this meet for 2 or 3 years. And so we have them also help create that culture and prepare the young kids on what would a dual meet atmosphere look like.
Now, this meet was separated into age group, as you said, 11 to 14, and then the senior 15 and over. Russ, give me your thoughts on how the senior level of the meet went.
It went really well. I was actually at the age group meet because I coach a group of 11, 12-year-olds as well. But Pam Swander, who's our North Region Manager, and Alan Fow, who's our Senior Division Director, he oversees the planning and preparation of kind of all our senior groups from both sites. They were leading the charge here here in Charlotte on the senior meet. It was all a dual meet should be. The rivalry is really good. We have the respect that we have for what Dynamo does, and the culture and the philosophy they bring is very similar to ours. We really enjoy battling with those guys. We have a good relationship with those guys, but we want to win every year against them, just like they want to beat us. And with the rankings that both of us have had nationally at different meets, or with the gold medal club excellence rankings, it really sets up November for some real good excitement. And it was everything it should be. The first day, I believe we were winning the meets up until the relays, and Dynamo did a really good job of splitting their relays at the end. So they came out of Saturday 6 points ahead. And then the next day, our guys were just very determined. They did not want to lose this dual meet. The last couple of years have been really an exciting one. Last year, Dynamo beat us at their place by 30. I think it was 34 points. 2 years ago, we beat them here by 14 points. So, the separation over the last few years has not been very much. So our guys here were just really determined on day 2, and they got some really good events rolling. Those scoring high points, a little bit of depth here and there, doing a great job on relays. And, by the end of the meet, I believe the senior group had won by 100. So it was really a good battle again.
Yeah, winning by 100 points. That's not really close compared to the other meets you've had in the past.
Right, yeah.
All right, Terry, so give me your observations on how the age group meet went. Probably a lot of little kids racing and having a lot of energy over 2 days.
Absolutely. Dynamo really set up the environment to create that fun atmosphere. They were just as inspired with the cheering and really kind of set that climate for us. So when the kids came in, they were ready, got excited about it, and we're up for the challenge. The swimming again, it's in season, so I think the swimming was pretty good for where we're at this point in time. We do have a progression through our season. We don't really start out real fast. We really talk about, working on the basics, the drills, kicking. So as far as training wise, we're still very early in our season. So, but to come in there and create a team culture and that excitement, kids were cheering, they were waving their T-shirts, they were lined up along the pool deck. The relays are very important for us. We talk about relays. That is a team. That's a team bonding moment to do relays. And so our goal was to go in there and sweep the relays, and we came pretty close. We won 7 out of 8 relays, and that's something that we also have a lot of value in our program.
Well, talking about team culture, as you said, SwimMAC is one of just a handful of USA swimming teams that has pretty much the full spectrum of athletes. I mean, even if you go to the Learn to Swim programs that you have and you go all the way up to your post-grads at Team Elite, I mean, it's just really a great kind of feeling I bet these little kids have to know that there is this possibility they can continue with the team all the way into their 20s. My question is, how are all these groups connected within SwimMAC?
Well, we're pretty intentional about, I think, having, as they progress through the program, giving them the opportunity and educating them on why it's important for them to have impact on those who are younger than they are. One of the things that David does a great job with is having those Team Elite Swimmers be, whether it's clinics we helped kind of set up or technique sessions or opportunities for them to work with our younger swimmers. That's an opportunity. Even before this meet, we had our senior swimmers who are going to be going to this meet. We split up some of the boys and the girls, and we had some of the senior boys talk to the younger boys, and some of the senior girls talking to the younger girls about this meet, because a lot of them, just about all of them, have gone through exactly the same setup against Dynamo and have known the rivalry since they were younger. And so for us, some of it is about the coaches stepping back and allowing the older athletes who understand what we're about, what we value, to help guide the younger swimmers through this process and help them understand what the tradition's about, why it's a great rivalry, what they experienced, what is it like for them to do, 4 events on one day and not have a lot of rest in between and then do it again. So some of that that's really important for us, that the older athletes are imparting that knowledge onto the younger ones, whether it's from our high school kids to those younger, or even our Team Elite swimmers who are able to impart some of their wisdom to the high school and maybe middle school age kids.
And I think big picture wise, we definitely spend a lot of time and energy as coaches making sure that groups build upon each other. And when you go from a 10 and under group to 11, 12, that the foundation is set up to launch them into the next age group, and 11, 12 to 13, 14. So we definitely look at the infancy of a swimmer coming into our program and how we want to see them travel through the program until they leave for college and have that great college experience.
That is a good philosophy. Somebody who I would imagine these younger kids are looking up to now is Kathleen Baker. She's going to be headed off to the duel in the pool next month. I imagine you guys are going to be having a big watch party cheering her on.
Absolutely. I mean, that's just really a great honor, for have someone like that represent the club and represent the country, and that's just going to be a great opportunity for swimmers not too much younger than she is to see that's possible, that's a doable goal, that's a doable opportunity, and when that becomes a little more real for them, I believe for those younger swimmers, that's where their dreams start growing, and their dreams start becoming something that they think about and work toward on a regular basis.
Well, guys, before we let you go, we want to submit you to our final 5. These are 5 questions we ask all of our guests to get to know them a little bit better. So, Terry, I'm going to start with you for the first question. If you could change the order of strokes in the individual medley, how would you change it?
I would go with the medley relay, back breast, fly free.
This is something interesting. Would you go with the backstroke start or the forward start for backstroke?
Oh, the forward start. That's much funner.
Okay. Russ, besides coaching, what's a career you would most like to try?
Well, I probably would either go something along the military or motorcycle repair.
Okay, 2 very different careers. Wow. Terry, what's a career you would not like to try?
That I would not like to try. Being a doctor or dealing with any type of looking inside people's bodies.
I can relate to that. Russ, if there's a rule that you could change or add in the swimming rule book, what would it be?
There'd be 2. I would absolutely get rid of the non-continuous turn rule in backstroke, because if you flip at the flags, there's no advantage. So I still fail to see the logic in that rule. And I would get rid of all this dolphin kick stuff in breaststroke, because it just makes for the amount that's being gained versus just keeping some purity to breaststroke. I think it should just stay like it was.
Okay. Last questions for both of you. We'll start with you, Terry. Where do you like to go for vacation?
Any beach, anywhere where the climate's over 80 degrees.
All right. How about you, Russ?
I would say the same. Being on the coast where there's water and opportunities to do stuff, that's really good.
Well, it's pretty much always over 80 degrees in Phoenix. Unfortunately, we don't have any water for you, Terry. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations on the great dual meet, and we look forward to seeing how this rivalry continues, not just in the dual meets, but nationally as well.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
All right, our pleasure. All right, so thanks to everyone for tuning in for today's show. Now, you can keep track of all the latest news in aquatic sports by going to swimmingworld.com, liking us on Facebook, and following us on Twitter. I'm Jeff Cummings. Thanks for watching.